Hi, welcome back to our channel Explore with Priya and Jithin. In Pinnaringa you already might have guessed where we are. We are at one of the iconic stadiums in the world at the MCG. It is one of the biggest stadiums in the southern hemisphere and it is the biggest cricket ground in Australia. Always brings us back so much memories. In MCG, we come with so much happiness to see Team India play. But Iniku we thought, okay, let's do an MCG tour. So MCG tour lenna kaatvaanga full the ground kaatvaango, player or a dressing room, and they take us closer to the pitch. And MCC members place ella kaatvaango. So we thought, okay, it will be a nice surreal experience. So that's why we're here today. I am super excited. I think the last game that we came here was India and Pakistan or a World Cup, T20 World Cup. My goodness, adapati even iporku goosebumps. We had such a good experience. So to join me with the tour, my cricket Varian husband has come. So we are ready to explore the MCG. So come explore with us.
So as you can see, this is the Yara Park. This is the pathway. MCG car park you go into the actual park. This is car parking pathway is Yara Park. MCG always brings like fond memories of childhood. Chinna vayasula used to get up like 5:30, 6 in the morning to watch the test match, iconic Boxing Day test match in Melbourne. Appo edume nenchi paakala that we'll end up in Melbourne one day and then go into this actual ground. It's a refreshing memory. Kalayila 5:30 alarm vechi elambittu watches the iconic matches at Boxing Day. India mattu illa, India, West Indies, England. What's your memories, MCG?
Enik actually first cricket introduced Panninde, my dad. He used to watch all the matches, and I used to get so angry and change the channel. I think he thought if he teaches me cricket, then that's the way that I can also watch it. The first time MCG vandinde, I think it was in the year 2007, because appo na first time cricket introduced through my father, and he brought us to the cricket ground. So he brought me and my sister, and we still remember we were going to school and the time school bags, and food, juice, we had come to watch the test series. And then 2008 we came for the T20 series. I think that was the first time the T20 series actually started in Australia. Okay. So yeah, that's my memory. That's the first time we came, and then every time India actually comes to play in Australia, we are there for every game.
Super.
So yeah, how much fun we had for the India-Pakistan game.
Yes.
So the game was actually at 7:30. Number MCG we came at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock they had band set up here. People were dancing, the Indian fans and Pakistan fans. We were all dancing together. So I think it was such a good match, and so much memories to take from that.
Iconic Virat Kohli sixes of Faris Roff.
Correct.
One of the other fond memory that I have is a silent guy, but that innings was amazing. Ajinkya Rahane. So he actually led the team to victory with his 100. He scored an amazing 100. Ajinkya Rahane's innings is always special. Actually, if you remember, Ajinkya Rahane actually has scored 100 before as well. He has scored 147, I think in 2014 or 16. Can't remember, in a test series. So, Ajinkya Rahane MCG is always a special stadium. He has done really well. And in terms of bowling, Indian bowlers, Bumrah has taken 5 wickets twice at MCG. He has got a 6-4 in his career at MCG. And then the other bowler who has got 5-4 is Anil Kumble. So Anil Kumble, I think 2004 season where we had a lot of controversies, Simons and Harbhajan issue which happened and all that. During that time, Anil Kumble had an amazing spell at MCG as well. So Indian bowlers have generally done well. Not only Indian bowlers, Indian batsmen have done really well at MCG as well. So apart from that, the great Don Bradman will actually be seeing a lot of Don Bradman memorabilia, his cricket bat. So we'll be seeing all the exclusive stuff. So உங்களுக்கு எல்லாரும் காட்டுறதுக்கு will be seeing all those exclusive stuff and what the MCG has to offer for the cricket fans. So adella we're going to show it, yeah.
And I think being a cricket fan, I think it is so important to do such tours, Ilya. Like
Yes.
just not
But
just
not
to come.
I don't think every ground offers tour. So MCG has planned everything and they offer like a superb infrastructure and a superb memorabilia for every cricket fan in terms of all these tours. So good stuff. So நம்ம என்ன பார்க்க போறோம்னா we're going to go to the MCG. We got to check out what this tour has to offer. So they said that they'll be showing all the personalized stuff. So cricket players' dressing room, recovery room, long room, and every single bit that we won't be seeing on TV,
But
we'll
the
show it
pitch-
to you guys.
Pitch
Yeah?
actually we can't go to the pitch apparently because it's a premium tour. We were not able to get it because it was sold out.
Yeah. Actually got a West Indies and Australia game happening here. One day game. So adunala we can't go closer to the cricket pitch. But we'll take you closer to the boundary line and show you the exact feeling how it is to be at the ground. Anything else?
Nothing else. I'm so excited. So excited
Let's
to see the tour.
do
So
this.
let's see. We've actually never seen the MCG to be so empty, இல்லையா? எப்பவுமே வரும்போது bands,
So true.
full music gala அந்த மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். To be so quiet.
And we are currently at the grade 3 with the Olympic stand.
Olympic stand, இல்லையா? Actually MCG நம்ம சுத்தி like நடக்கணும்னா it will take us up to what, or 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes.
Oh yeah, easy 15 minutes எடுக்கும்.
அவ்வளோ பெருசா இருக்குது. And you know MCG சுத்தி it's all parks. So beautiful parks because it's a very hot day. A lot of people are sunbathing inga. So it's a nice beautiful day and we're so excited to see the tour. The tour is going to start in about 5 minutes. So let's go explore.
Let's go explore MCG.
Have you ever seen the players?
Yeah, there are times when we're here and some players, cricketers might be training on the ground,
Oh yeah.
or sometimes in the indoor cricket nets.
Mhm.
I'll show you. Probably not likely to happen today because cricket season's pretty much over.
Yep, yep.
But yeah, it depends when you're here. It's just the luck of the draw.
Have you seen any Indian players?
No, I've seen English
Okay.
and some Australian.
Mhm.
The only time I've seen the Indian players is when I've been here as a spectator.
Guys, let me show you something more important. Bang. This is the players dugout. So all our Indian players, Australian players, any team comes here. This is the home team dugout, and that one on the other side, that's the away team dugout. So nama Indian team varumbodhu obviously they'll sit on the other end, and this is going to be the home team.
இவ்வளோ க்ளோஸ் எப்பவுமே பார்த்ததே இல்ல நம்ம.
No, this is like a dream come true at the G.
So usually நம்ம வந்தா like you know we've actually never sat on this side, right? நம்ம
We
அந்த side
have sat for a couple of games in here.
அப்படியா?
Yeah, because M42 we have sit here
Okay.
before. And then idu pathina, see the outer boundary area, this is very synthetic grass, but the inner sanctum, like the actual ground, is like real grass.
ஆமா.
Paranga, this is the grass from the G. This is real grass, and yeah, it's like trimmed very well, so the outfield is super quick. And then you can see the pitch in the middle. Pitch is currently covered because there is a West Indies game happening. So Australia West Indies happening tomorrow. So adukada the pitch is covered. We're not able to go into the middle. Otherwise kaatirukala. So this is obviously the boundary area, and this is a synthetic grass which is laid up here.
Nice.
Off minute.
So next we're going to the players' dressing room. I'm so excited. Come on, follow me.
So enjoy this opportunity to sit on these seats.
Wow, I know.
This is where the players sit. It's a good view.
I know.
So enjoy these seats. Take a seat. You might feel like a cricketer. We have two little rooms behind us. The one on our left is the home team. So Australia would use this room. If it's a Sheffield Shield match, Victoria would use this room, or T20 Melbourne Stars. The room on the right is used by the visiting team. Remember, they're never here together at the same time because the fielders are out on the ground.
That's
So the batters usually spread right along here. They go down. They go down that path that we've just walked. The section just in front of us. Can you see the section here? the section here where you've got little gates on the side. These seats are reserved for the players' family and friends, so they get to be close to their family and friends. As I said, when they go out, they go underground through that ramp, and they end up in the change rooms. They have their shower, and then they come up through a little secret door, staircase, which I'll show you as we walk out. Where they are. So this is quite a big step up, so just be careful here as you come up the steps. So that's the staircase that comes from downstairs in the basement. So when they don't need to go through the crowd, then they just sneak up here and sit beside their teammate. They have their own toilets, which is good. Now we'll come out and we'll end up. So this is what we call the Hugh Trumbull Cafe. Hugh Trumbull was an Australian cricketer who played cricket in the 1900s, very early 1900s, a long, long time ago. We named this cafe after him because he was the first Australian to perform a test hat-trick at this ground. So 3 wickets in a row, a hat-trick. It took 90 years before another Australian performed a test hat-trick here on this ground. Does anyone want to guess who the cricketer would be? So we're talking 1994.
94. Shane
Warne it was. So Hugh Trumbull actually was also an MCC member and a committee member. So we will see later on when we go upstairs a photo of him. He has a big hat on, and he was a person who helped to work on the committee to help make decisions about this ground. So we're going to go downstairs and I'm going to show you the nets where the cricketers actually practice and warm up.
So guys, we're going to go next to the warm-up nets where the cricket players basically do their warm-ups. Where are we going next? The exciting
where the cricketers practice. We actually verilata or net paathirukolla verilata they play. I think they have an indoor one as well.
Oh.
Yeah, that's solranga.
I was thinking that was the outdoor.
This is not the outdoor one.
Oh, so they practice indoors as well. Oh, that's indoor.
So this centre here is known as the Bill Lawry Centre. Bill Lawry was a famous ex-Australian cricketer who then became a commentator, and he played for Victoria as well. Very, very passionate about Victorian cricketers. So this is the indoor cricket area. We have 6 pitches, and each of these pitches have a slightly different surface to try to replicate the surfaces of the ground around the country. So one surface might have a bit more spin in it to replicate the SCG, one might be faster, harder, etc. The first pitch, and we do have outdoor cricket pitches as well. The first one has a really interesting concept. You can see the screen on our left, and you can see there's a hole in the centre. This is a practice area for batters called a simulator. Usually have a little box here where the projector is. The batter, who's at the opposite end, has this computer monitor, and he can choose on this monitor what kind of ball he wants to face. Is it a Yorker? Is it a full length? Is it a bouncer? He can even choose the speed at which he wants to receive the ball. What then happens is the video image projects onto the screen. We see the bowler running in, we see the umpire on the side, and then when it looks like the bowler is just about to release the ball, it comes out through this hole. Now the way it happens is behind that screen there is a machine here, and this is the machine that angles the ball and controls the speed of the ball. This is called Pro Batter Sports, so it's what we call a simulator. This was invented for baseball, and then they adapted it for cricket. There is a function on this called random, which means
any random ball will come.
So that's a real practice. This is a photo to show you how we transformed this ground from an AFL football ground. I'll get you to come here and I'll warn you about this little area.
All right.
So this is actually a car park, as you can see. It's not a very glamorous part of the MCG. It can even be a bit smelly. While we have cars coming, we have delivery, so people are delivering sometimes food. We have a commercial kitchen here, equipment for the Taylor Swift concert. So we have to be very careful. We have cards with yellow lines. We need to stay within the yellow line. But this is also where the change rooms are.
Yep.
So it's actually kind of the exciting part of the ground as well. So we'll come this way and I'll show you point out some features.
So is there like security around here as well when the players...
Yes. So see where that glass door is?
Yep.
Normally you would need an official pass and not even my pass.
Yep.
On match day you would actually have a proper official pass and there'd be a security person checking everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now the reason why I stop here is I want you to just turn and look at this room here. So it doesn't look very exciting.
No.
This is actually the room where the players, the cricketers, have their lunch break. So you know when you hear the commentators say, the cricketers are at lunch at the moment.
Yeah.
That's where they go.
Wow.
And the two teams share this room together.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know whether they sit next to each other, but they definitely share the same space.
Nice.
So let's stay within the yellow lines as we walk across. This is the path that we saw from upstairs, you know, when we looked at how the players came down.
Yep.
And you see this doorway here?
Yep.
It says to cricket viewing boxes. That is the staircase that goes up to the room. Let's use that. And there is a special board on the wall which honours all the Indian cricketers and all the international cricketers who have performed centuries at this ground in Test match and 5-wicket performances.
Yep.
So it's the same rooms, but we'll go that way. We've obviously got some cricket footage to look at.
So usually on a game day, like a cricket game day, how many hours before do the players actually come to the G?
Oh, I don't actually know that because matches will start at all different times.
Okay.
So, you know, a Boxing Day Test match play starts at 10. So players could be here potentially by 8.
Okay.
And I don't know whether they all have to be here by a certain time or whether they can stagger in.
Yep.
But usually a couple of hours before. The same with a football match as well.
This is where the press conference...
Yeah. So before we head to change room 2, this is where the press conferences are held. Usually after a football match. With cricket, not so much. Cricket generally do their interviews on the ground, but if they had to have a special press conference to announce something, they would do it in here. And yeah, this divides the 2 rooms. So if you're welcome to go and sit behind.
After every game, the captain and the coaching staff, they all meet the press in this meeting room. So after the game, basically both the team captains or the coaching staff, someone will be meeting the media team, and that's where it happens. And this is the visiting team leaderboard up at the MCG dressing room area. And if you look carefully, you can actually see a lot of Indian names in this leaderboard. Notably, this guy Ajinkya Rahane, and then you can see the recent one, Jasprit Bumrah, 2018 season, 6 wickets for 33 runs. That was a great spell. And then you can see Virat Kohli, Ajinkya Rahane, the great Tendulkar, Sehwag, and all these players, iconic innings are basically up on the leaderboard, up at the G. This is the dressing room.
So what we have here is 2 recovery pools.
Yep.
One can hold 12 players and another can hold 8. A little bit squishy, but they can fit in here. These pools are temperature controlled, so we set the temperature to between 11 and 15 degrees. That's the equivalent of an ice bath, which they say is the best way for your muscles to recover. And we have filtration, so it keeps the water clean. So these are the same as what's in the home rooms.
Okay.
If you go overseas, Australia is a very fair country. Everything is equal, as you know, if you've lived here. When you go overseas, and I did a stadium tour in Spain of the Real Madrid, totally different. The home team has all of these beautiful facilities. The away room is like a quarter of the size, tiny, and no recovery baths or anything. So it's a bit different here. Everything you see is the same as what in the Australian rooms. These lockers are used by the footballers, so the footballers also use these, but they don't, the cricketers use their own lockers, the footballers use these ones. So there's nothing in them at the moment.
And then like for football, when you have, say, now,
Lockers. So when they come for the game, they actually use this small cubicles to keep their things, which is their jerseys and bats and everything. So this is what they use to store the things. And then this is the player shower area. So as you can see, it's like an open space where the whole team takes shower before or after the game. and this is the play shower area, and then followed by the physio room. So this is where the game recovery room, so player massages and then recovery for the players and everything happens around this area. And they even have this washing space, so they do have their own washing machine and got a mini washing space as well to basically just do their washing and everything. As you can see, this is the recovery pool, which is set to a colder degree as the guide mentioned earlier. And this is the drug testing room, so players will be randomly chosen to do the drug testing. So if any substance abuse, everything will be found out on this drug test. And then you can see the umpires changing room here as well. So this is like an inner tour of MCG basically. See, look at this footage, just close up. India oda game da screen la potrukanga when they visited last time. There you go.
What
Are
a
you having
feeling,
fun?
Ella. What a feeling. Because we always just come and watch the game, and to be
Exactly.
actually touring around MCG is just so surreal. It's like,
That too, we have like exclusive access to the dressing room, change
I
room,
know.
recovery room, avangaloda player pools and whatnot.
I know. I've been to the G so many times, but this is the best feeling that I've ever had. Ipo, we're on the topmost level of the MCG. Ingen actually plays a pathing yedo chinna or ant veliyadra madita irukku. So we don't usually book this area, but coming here for the first time, let's see how it looks.
The ground is actually about 175 metres in length and 147 metres in width. So it's definitely an oval shape. The other grounds around the country are all different shapes. So the SCG is more round. The WACA is quite a big ground too, oval. Here on this level you can see the two scoreboards, big scoreboards. They were installed in 2013. And when we have football season, they're roughly where the goalposts are. So the football goalposts run from east to west, but the cricket...
Entering the corporate suits. Is this where the Christmas party actually happens as well?
No,
Okay.
this is just...
Because there's Christmas lunch.
that's down in the committee room. Yeah.
Look at this.
So this little section here, we try to honour some of the famous cricketers that you may know from all around the world, and some of their memorabilia. But probably the photo that attracts everyone's attention is this one, because Tendulkar, and this was taken on Bradman's 90th birthday at his home in Bowral, which is where Bradman grew up and lived most of his life. Actually went there recently. There is a fantastic museum. If you ever get there, if you get an opportunity to go, it's about 7 hours drive from Melbourne, so it's about 2 hours from Sydney. And it's a fabulous museum that honours Bradman, and it's right next to the Bradman Oval, which is impeccably kept. And Bradman speaks in a video. Actually, there's a great documentary. If you're from Melbourne, if you look at ABC iView, there's a documentary called Bradman and Tendulkar.
I've watched that one.
Have you watched it? It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Bradman speaks about when
He was talking to his wife about it.
this photo was taken when Tendulkar was in his early days. So even before he really became a champion.
Yep.
So when Bradman first saw Tendulkar bat, he said to his wife, this guy reminds me of the way I bat.
Yeah.
So he obviously took a liking to him from the beginning. That was before anyone knew he was going to go on and become such a champion. So this photo is signed by the two of those players, which is pretty special. It was taken in the 1990s. So this is when you used to have film, you know, not just iPhones, and Bradman didn't like having a lot of photos taken of himself. So he asked the photographer, once the photo was taken, you must destroy the negative. There's only there's four copies. So he said, after you take this photo, he said to the photographer, you can have a copy, the Tendulkar family can have a copy. There is one copy for the South Australian Cricket Trust. So Bradman went on to go and live in Adelaide after living in New South Wales. And this one was auctioned off for charity on his birthday. And so the MCC thought this is a good opportunity to buy this because it attracts a lot of interest and visitors. So we're lucky to have it. And then a lot of people now take a photo of the photo. So now there's copies of the photo. So if you would like a photo, you're welcome to take home.
This one is one of the rare pieces.
Yeah, it's special. It's
Very.
special, yeah.
Do you know what it went for? What was the price
Yeah,
of the
it's
photo?
about $25,000.
Oh wow,
$1,000 for this picture.
I think it's paid for itself now with all the tours.
that's right.
And just in the corner where that other group is an MCC library. So we actually have a library full of sporting books, so only books that are related to sport. And the only difference is you can't borrow from that library. It's a reference.
This is the statue of Sir Don Bradman, just a mini statue up at MCG. He was a tiny man, to be honest, but his records are like sky high. And then you can see the special performances on the leaderboard near the cafe area. Alistair Cook 244, that's the recent one. And then the other ones are slightly older.
So this is a great picture. It was, or painting I should say. It was depicting a team in 1864, the second England 11 to tour Australia. And you know, cricket back then was known as a gentleman's game. So, you know, they dressed with leather-soled shoes and bow ties and belts, and their hair looked nicely done. It was definitely a different type of game. I can't imagine the players today, you know, getting out there with belts on and bow ties. And, you know, it's changed a lot, but I guess no different to India and, you know, Australia, we're Commonwealth countries. The English brought this game to our countries, and it had such high status that it's continued like that.
Looks like they're ready to go for a wedding or something.
It does. Yeah. So we're going to head down to level 2 now, and mostly they've been men, but this is a really good picture. It's actually a painting, believe it or not.
Wow, this is a painting.
T20 World Cup Women's International match in 2020. So this was the last big event at this ground before COVID shut everything down.
Now we are moving towards the MCC members pavilion area, and then you can see the current MCC committees mentioned, and then the pictures are depicted on the wall. And then you also have a special dress code that you need to follow. See, this is the dress standards, but since we are on tour, we actually don't need to follow that. But on a general game day, you need to wear these clothes to get in. So this is the members area, whereas the legends or the grades are mentioned on the wall, and this is the view from here to the actual ground.
And because we have so many members, there is a rule. It's a bit like public transport. If you were to see an elderly member, you're expected to give up your seat. Just a courtesy. So no one really sits here for a long period of time. You sit for a little bit. If you see someone else, you give up your seat. But it is amazing. Now, throughout this room, there are photos and paintings of all of the past presidents, chairman. The man with the hat in that big frame in the centre, down the bottom, is Hugh Trumbull. Remember I said he was the guy who did the first hat trick? That's him. And then throughout the back of the wall, in these cabinets, you'll see lots of cricket memorabilia, mainly from Australians, but there is like a Brian Lara bat and a few other bats. But the one I like to point out, we have a Don Bradman bat.
Wow.
You'll be surprised, he scored 123 with this bat, and when you look at it, it looks like something that needs to be thrown in the bin. So
That's skinny.
it shows
That's small.
you, when it's got a crack through it, it shows you that it's not the bat that makes the player. So I'll spoon as well. So you can start to see all the red knots.
Yep.
That.
And this is open to all the members, not just Field.
So when you become... We are honouring history in this park. So I said at the beginning of the tour that this ground was created in 1853. So in 2003 we celebrated 150 years at this ground. And what they did was they commissioned this piece of artwork, and they got an artist to design this, and they got it made by the Tapestry Association of Australia. So if you look carefully, this is actually a tapestry, all done by hand. And if you look closely, you'll see the different panels. There's actually 15 different panels, Every panel represents a decade or 10 years of history. And it starts back in 1853 when we had our first Australian cricket team, a team of Aboriginal players, right through to 2003. And the last player on the board with his bat in the air is Sachin Tendulkar. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Really fun. Thank you so much.
It's a great venue, and I hope you take home some memories of it. And you'll need to have your parents come back here for a match one day when it's full. So yeah, but enjoy the rest of your day. It's hot, so drink plenty of water. There's the glass door there has a toilet there. And if you walk around to where we first began the tour, there was a cafe there if you want to grab a drink or
Yep.
something to eat.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
the shop is open till 5. The museum's open till 5 as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You too. So now we've come inside the Australian Sports Museum. So ingeta like ella sports oda. So it's not only cricket, football oda kuda monuments, sporting gears ella ingeta irukka podum. So we'll have a look. Let's go.
This is the cricket area where you have the actual pitch with the cricket simulator inside the MCG. I think they'll actually show you all the field positions.
So next show starts in 3 minutes. So Shane Warne oda movie தான் நம்ம இப்ப பார்க்க போறோம்.